New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
New Thought Media Network is excited to present Divine Science Everywhere, Fridays at 2 p.m. Mountain Time and 4 p.m. Eastern. Come explore a modern experience of divine science. With Reverend Joy Fletcher, Reverend Jeff Radcliff, and Bishop Durrell Watkins. Join us as we open our eyes to divine science everywhere we look. Fridays on New Thought Media Network.
Welcome to Divine Science Everywhere. We're so glad that you're joining us. I'm Reverend Joy Fletcher, and I am honored to serve as the Divine Science Ministers Association President. I'm a member of Divine Science Federation International, lifetime membership of International New Thought Alliance, and I'm also a member of the affiliated New Thought Alliance. And we have a wonderful show ahead of us. I'm looking forward to that. Reverend Jeff.
I'm Reverend Jeff, and this is Reverend Lily Rose. We are with Giati Ministries, Giati. And that stands for God is all there is. I do all the online work. Miss Lily stays in the background and holds a high watch for people and gives me love and encouragement. And if you notice up behind us, up on the wall, we just received it. Okay, baby, get down. We just received it today. A friend of mine, her sister is a very talented painter, and she asked to do a portrait of Lily for me. So there you go. We're very happy to have you with us here on Divine Science Everywhere, and we are looking forward to our special guest today because I've never met an animal chaplain before, but we are going to talk to Reverend Kathy in just a little bit, and I will introduce her properly in just a few minutes. But right now, this is the time of our show where my friend Reverend Joy Fletcher does our centering moments, the highlight of our day. So, Reverend Joy, I'm going to let you have the reins.
Thank you. Thank you. Today, our focus is on keeping our peace and social justice. So let us remember our oneness with God, the beloved, the divine, and with one another. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes, and I invite you to be fully present in this moment. Set aside any sense of rushing that you might have done to join us, as well as the busyness of the day and all sorts of things that are calling for our attention. Instead, let us pay attention to the one, to the source, to the peace within us right now, in this very moment. So, taking a deep, conscious breath, holding it for just a moment, and exhaling any sense of anxiety, concern about the next moment. Instead, just be here right now in this very moment. This is where our power lies, within ourselves, not within the outer and all the business and activities, things that seem disruptive. Instead, that calm peace within us. And we can call forth this peace, solitude, the moments of rejuvenation by simply focusing on our breath and by our awareness, through our awareness with our source. The source, which is unconditional love, which is divine energy in right and perfect order, divine wisdom, peace, grace. It is a peace that's not something that we wait for the world to give us, but instead that peace that is always within us. In divine science and new thought, we affirm this simple and yet radical truth. There is but one life, one presence, one source. And that life lives within each of us. This presence moves through all nations, all people, and all conditions. Omnipresence means there isn't a presence where God is not. None of us are outside of this divine love, and no situation is beyond the reach of truth, of this omnipresence. So as we care deeply for social justice, equity, and healing in the world, we first anchor ourselves in this knowing. We are not separate from the good that we wish to create. Whenever we feel compelled to act for social justice, we must first, to be effective, with a lasting effect, focus on centering ourselves, feeling the peace that passes all understanding, the peace that is within each of us. And to show up with courage and integrity, spiritual wisdom reminds us what to say, how to behave. We are invited to become peace in motion, speaking words with compassion, moving our feet and our hands in love, resisting any ideas of response through anger and instead replace it with peace, but yet firmness and wisdom, not engaging in the thoughts that sometimes enter as us against them, but instead us as oneness, all of us as oneness. For everyone is my sister and my brother. We are one. There is but one humanity, one heart, one life. Let us remember that peace without justice becomes passive. Justice without peace becomes harsh. But together, they manifest as something whole. Of course, the Miracles suggest that the most sacred miracle is to heal a long-held injustice or sense of anger and hatred. Instead, it's replaced with love. We can choose to not focus on fear, but instead on divine love. We can speak truth without being harsh, and we can stand for justice without forgetting our shared humanity. We don't act alone, for we are infinite love in expression. So let this awareness be strength and wisdom and light and love and peace expressed through you. For omnipresence is in all, through all, and has all. Let us call it forth, not only through ourselves, but through one another. We are being called for a higher purpose, for the opportunity to practice this truth that we are one. We are divine love in expression, and you are divine love in expression. So right now, from this moment, refreshed and renewed in the awareness of our connection through the great heart of love, unconditional love, let us vow a vow to choose peace, to be anchors and expressions of peace. And also offer this to one another. And so it is and shall be forevermore. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Joy. Today's a special day because we are entering into the season for nonviolence, and we talked about that a week or so ago. And it starts today with Mohandas Gandhi's birthday. And so, Reverend Joy, please tell us about it.
Okay. And so today marks the start of the season for nonviolence, and it's a 64-day educational and grassroots campaign that started on, and I told you wrong, Jeff, when it's not his birthday, it's the anniversary of Gandhi's death today.
Oh, okay. Thank
And
you.
and it ends on the anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination, April 4th. And it's the brainchild and vision of Arun Gandhi, grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, and it was first celebrated in 1998 in partnership with the Association for Global New Thought. And since its inception, individuals and organizations in 900 cities and 67 countries have participated in this season. And each of the 64 days has a focus which characterizes a nonviolent attitude or value. And it grows from a concept and then into an idea and then to an experience and usable tool for action. Boy, that sounds like new thought, doesn't it? And the website Season for Nonviolence has many ideas, suggestions of what to do for as far as activities and also individual practice. The website for Arun for Gandhi also, the Gandhi Institute for Nonviolence also has some suggestions from daily journals to a commitment to nonviolence and other things. So it's real interesting and certainly very timely right now, isn't it, with what's going on in not only the United States, but throughout the world. We're all being given the opportunity to practice nonviolence and to stand up for one another in a nonviolent way.
And I think it should be mentioned that nonviolence also deals with, well, when we're watching the news and we're seeing some of the events taking place, we can be angry, as Jesus said, and sin not. Um, it's up to us to be nonviolent, even in our thoughts. I know I've seen a lot of people on social media wishing bad things on this group of people or that group of people. That's not what this is about, folks. Nonviolence in all aspects, and that includes where we have our thoughts. So,
Yes, thank you for that. It's so true because it is tempting to go to that base, lower chakra type energy and be just as aggressive as somebody else is. And we really don't resolve anything that way. And we are spiritual beings having this human experience. So we're being called to do something different. And I really believe that once we truly know better, we're more is expected of us to practice that truth we know.
absolutely. Do we have any other luminaries that we want to talk about today? Or I think that we're done.
I do too. Yes.
Why don't we take a real quick break and we'll be right back. I am hoping that I've got something going on in the background that I may need to pop out for, but I'm hoping to get our guest introduced properly before I have to do that. So let's take a real quick break and we'll be right back. This is Divine Science Everywhere on New Thought Media Network.
New Thought Media Network is excited to present Divine Science Everywhere, Fridays at 2 p.m. Mountain Time and 4 p.m. Eastern. Come explore a modern experience of divine science with Reverend Joy Fletcher, Reverend Jeff Radcliff, and Bishop Durrell Watkins. Join us as we open our eyes to divine science everywhere we look. Fridays on New Thought Media Network.
Welcome back to Divine Science Everywhere. I'm Reverend Jeff. It is my pleasure to welcome religious science minister and animal chaplain, Reverend Kathy Wilson. Reverend Kathy has been in New Thought for over 21 years. A friend took her to Agape, and she never really left. She found Agape, and then whenever she moved across the country, she always found a New Thought church wherever she lived. And while she was in Phoenix, she got a new calling to become a practitioner. So Reverend Kathy says that she knew she was on the path to help herself and others. Every time she's gone somewhere, when she moved from Phoenix to Colorado, back to California, she was always a practicing practitioner in her church. And later on, she decided she might as well take the plunge and become a minister. So she did that as well. She's had a lifelong love and commitment to animals. She went on to become an animal chaplain. How cool is that? She was forever, she says, bringing home dogs and cats and birds that needed help. And she tried to rehab them back to health if they were sick, or get somebody else to do it. Led her to be involved in a no-kill cat shelter for the last 10 years, helping the cat population find forever homes. And that's a great thing to be doing, but it's also a difficult process because sometimes it comes with some issues that people have difficulty with. So she found herself counseling the staff as well as working with the cats in their healing. So now Reverend Kathy has started a business in person and soon to be online, where she offers pet blessings, a rainbow bridge ceremony, education to pet owners, and grief counseling for those who've lost a pet. Welcome, Reverend Kathy Wilson. And the first question I want to ask you, I just touched on this.
Her mic isn't on or something. Something's on. No, I see her talking.
Down at the bottom of your screen on the left, there should be a microphone. If it's got a line through it, click on it, and that should turn it on. Oh my. It's been a long time since we've
it's been an interesting day.
Had an issue, but I don't think we've ever had this one before.
Got any suggestions, Robert? He's there.
Hi, sorry everyone about this. We're having some technical difficulties here. So Reverend Kathy, if you could just maybe look for the place where unmute your mic or connect your mic, that might be the best option. You're muted right now, so you might want to go back out and come back in. And I'm going to ask Reverend Joy to recenter us while we take care of this technical difficulty here.
All right. Are you going to log on and off, Kathy? Yeah. So everyone, like I said, it's been an interesting day. Lots of things happening, and lots of shifting and just coming back to center can be really challenging at times, but so much like life, right? Well, I might as well take this opportunity today to share something personal. Today, I resigned from my hospice bereavement coordinator position. This is my 19th year that I have worked with hospice, and it's time for the next chapter in my life. I'm not calling it retirement. I'm calling it redirection. I will be working as a death doula and end-of-life educator, and I'm really looking forward to that. Are we even recording? Are we?
Oh, Reverend Joy, let me ask you. You and I are going to have a moment here.
Yes.
So what is that like for you to talk about transition? So many people go through ministry in life, and they think that one ministry is it for them. So what does it mean for you to begin looking at a transition and ministry for you? And what does that mean what would you say to others who are considering after a long place of ministry transitioning to something else?
I think it's so important to trust that inner guidance that you're receiving, that it's time to expand or change directions. And ministry doesn't always look the same. It's not just pulpit ministry. It's not just officiating ceremonies. It's a life. It's your life. And I've had successful passages in my life where I was officiating many weddings. One year I officiated 50, and
Wow.
and that was in a very pretty rural area, farming area of Michigan. And when there wasn't such a thing as an internet to advertise,
Mm,
and
mm,
it was truly spirit led. Um, I felt inspired to put flyers on bulletin boards at churches, no, not at churches, at stores, laundromats, you name it. And the tear off thing, it was amazing. And I advertised in those little newspapers that you used to get that were free. And it was remarkable. I had the most wonderful experience,
mm.
all the way from being led down to officiating a wedding at Tiger Stadium, the old Tiger Stadium. Before the game began, one of the guests' responsibility was to make sure that any of the balls that were pitched during practice didn't come our way. And I've walked in the woods, to a special spot to officiate, in fields and barns and on boats and so forth. It's just been wonderful. So just trust spirit, and then other stages. And here I am at the focusing on end of life, and
Mm,
more than just the idea of dying, but rather how to live your life
mm.
more fully and what's really, really important. I have a website, it's joyfulcircle.org. And yeah, just think of it as joyful, spell full, circle.org, that explains some of the adventures I've had, as well as some classes that I offer. So
Awesome. Well, thank you,
thank
Joel,
you.
for sharing that. Thank you. I'm going to hope that when I say Reverend Kathy, she can hear me and respond. Reverend Kathy, you with us this time?
Oh, bless your heart.
We still can't hear you. Oh my goodness. Uh, Let me see what we can do here.
And what
Uh,
I would like to say is that I met Reverend Kathy at a couple Anton conferences, and I was delighted, as well as my husband, to attend a Rainbow Bridge ritual that hopefully she can come on and explain that. And then when I spoke with her about being a guest on our show, we discovered that we were both talking about offering grief support for pet owners. So she and I are going to collaborate in this new chapter of my life and offer grief support for pet owners.
awesome. So,
Mhm.
Reverend Kathy, if you can just respond, maybe we can see if we can hear you at this time.
No.
Okay, we're going to probably redirect this one, and I'm going to say we're going to invite Reverend Joe. Reverend Joe, we're going to invite Reverend Kathy back at another time when we can
Love.
definitely get her online. And this is just so sorry we can't we can't hear you, Reverend Kathy. I'm sure it's one of those like what I call little things that you just click something and it will automatically work for you. So I don't know if it's your mute button on your computer that may needs to be unmuted, or if there's a little mic button.
Can you
That's
turn the volume up? Turn the volume up. Sometimes it's something like that, or
There's nothing there that says click this to open mic or anything like that. I'll take it. There you are. Is that you? Now you're muted. As Reverend George says, this is just one of those days where things are just not.
It has been. We've had some things happen here at home. Just like, woo.
So, Reverend Joy, I know Reverend Kathy's here. So, why don't you tell us? And Reverend Kathy, you're welcome to say that with us in body and nod. But we're going to have Reverend Joy tell us more about your ministry. And I know there's a chat comment thing that's going on also as well. So, people want to ask you a question in the chat, or we can invite you to come back at a later time. But, Reverend Joy, tell us more about Reverend Kathy. I mean, I'm curious about the animal chaplain ministry as a whole. I think one of the things Reverend Jeff said is about people who does, I mean, she does a specialty. I've never heard of this before. So, Reverend Jordan, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about what Reverend Kathy does as her ministry.
Well, I remember she and I had a conversation about staying with some animals as they made their transition. And that she literally had a bed at I believe the shelter and stayed with them. And then also supports their owners as well as those at the shelter and those involved, which I think is really special. I think that sometimes people don't understand the grief that can come as a result of a pet dying. And we use the term losing, and in a way we do. It just sometimes semantics can be so clumsy to explain. But it's a deep kind of grief. It's different than other I think, and a different kind of grief, because animals often represent unconditional love. And they're just your companion. That's all they are. My husband and I have two Maltipus siblings, and they're truly lap dogs. That's their function. And I often tease and I say that we're nothing but dog furniture because they sit on us, and we've had to say farewell to other dogs before these two, and it is hard. It's a different kind of pain, I think, because who wouldn't want to come home and have a little critter jumping up and down to say hello, or you go out to the mailbox and come back and they do the same thing. Yeah. We as humans don't behave that way.
I grew up in the country, and and we had animals. Kind of grew up on a farm, so we had animals all around us. And there was a dog who took up at the house. It wasn't because we wanted to get, but he just took up at the house around the house. And so I've always been around animals all my life, but it wasn't much later in life that I kept pets in my home. So Durrell and I started off with two cats. I had two dogs previously, and we had two cats, Samantha and Serena. If you think of Bewitched, that's where we named them from. They were seminary trained. One went to Union Theological Seminary, and the other went to Episcopal Divinity School. So they're mostly seminary trained kitty cats. They went back and forth. But when it came time for the transition, we realized the impact that animals have on our lives. We don't think of them as human beings, but yet they play such an important role in our lives. Whether it's comfort, we have a big black lab now, but I can assure you, between the cats and the dogs, that they read our emotions. They can tell when we're having a bad day, when we're not feeling well, or when they just want to know against us. And so I think the animal kingdom plays an important role in humankind and making us be aware of all of God's creation, and not just the end part of it, but just all of God's creation. So I think it's something to that, just being aware of all of that.
I agree.
And what's really cool is how they communicate with us, because Lily can be very vocal. When I've got a plate, she's got her own food and she never shares with me, but she expects me to share with her, and she lets me know. And if it's dog safe, I'll give her a taste or two. But she communicates. Whenever we have people over, I just had a delivery I had to take care of. She loves to meet people. She is adorable, and she comes up and gives them hugs and kisses and all that good stuff. But when the person goes to leave, I've not been able to train her to use her lady voice. She sounds like she wants to rip your face off. That's her way, which is her way of saying, "Don't go, stay and play a while." But of course, people can't. And if you've been watching the news, I live in Tennessee, and Tennessee was very hard hit by this past winter storm. And uh, the one day while it was still snowing, Lily's out and she's walking in the snow, and to do her business and whatnot. And she's like, it's not my favorite thing to do, but okay. The next day, after we started getting some of the ice, she's out walking on top of the ice like Jesus walking on the water. And she turns around and she gave me this look. And I swear she was like saying, "What the hell?" So it's just amazing the contributions to our lives that our pets, our animals bring. Because, without it, how much more dull would our lives be?
Exactly. Well, I see Reverend Kathy has rejoined us. I'm going to cross my fingers that the next time she speaks, we can hear her. Reverend Kathy, are you with us this time?
Well, I'm trying.
All right. Yay.
Oh, here I am.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. Awesome. Now,
you're not going to have as much time as you normally would have, so we're going to have you back for sure.
Yeah,
Please tell us some of your story.
I wanted to tie in with something that Joy said that really resonated with me, which is ministry is not a constant thing in that it stays the same. Mm-hmm. And why I went to the animal chaplaincy to begin with was I had a very deep love of animals and have all my life. And I started picking up and recognizing in my environment and where I was going and how I was spending my time that amazing animal things happened in my life. Amazing. A dog walking down Main Street was all upset, and I would stop and I would look at it face to face and say, "You're a good boy. You're safe. You're okay." And the dog calmed down. And the owner was like floored. "Oh my, I can't get him to do that for life." And I ended up giving her some suggestions. Well, that was a couple of years ago. And I kept getting this thing in my meditations. You can do more with your animals. You can do more. You can do more. And like Joy, I'm 77 and I'm looking at how do I want to spend the last chapter, so to speak. And excuse me. And where do I want to help? It was a no-brainer. It really was. I have been part of a shelter, and when I say a part of a shelter, I have done it all. I have done trap and release of ferals because we have a huge feral population. I have brought into my home and socialized feral babies and turned them into house kitties where they trust human beings and they want to bond with you. I've done the pooping and scooping. I've done it all. And it brings me so much heartfelt joy. Not only working with the animals, but also working with the humans. And Joy hit the head right on the nail when she said, people grieve differently around their pet loss. And there just isn't any place for that in my area in California. And from my research, there's not a whole lot of areas, period, for this Rainbow Bridge ceremony. So I thought, well, I can fix that. God and I are co-pilots, and we can put together this program. And the next thing I knew, Anton was saying, "Oh, you're an animal chaplain. Would you like to do the Rainbow Bridge?" Absolutely, was my answer. And I'm going to be doing it again in October of this year at the Anton Retreat and Conference. And Cerise Patron, song leader extraordinaire, is a friend of mine, and she said, "Oh, would you like me to come and do a song?" So we're collaborating on that.
Nice.
It is going to be awesome.
It sounds terrific.
Yeah. So
are you going to be working with anybody else? I mean, it seems to me that you created this Rainbow Bridge ceremony. It would be a shame that more people weren't able to make use of it across the country whenever you're not able to step in.
well, thank you, Jeff. I'm in that process as we speak, of getting my word out there that I am interested in facilitating training for other Rainbow Bridge facilitators. The other thing I have done and am continuing to do is I do pep blessings. And I have been invited at many different churches to do my pep blessing at. And I am also going to be going on my own personal Zoom account to do grief counseling, pet education, and pet blessings.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds really great. And have you given thought to? Uh, I'm sure that there will be a small financial energy exchange. Have you given thought to what your services might cost?
I've given some thought, but it's very interesting. I'm still stumbling in that regard. You know, I was, uh, I've been trained, so to speak, as a practitioner, especially, that, we do prayers after church and they're free. And so I am working through with another minister that belief that I don't somehow deserve money for my services. So thank you for asking that question, Jeff. I will be figuring out a sliding scale kind of charge because I want this available to anybody and everybody. When I go, excuse me, when I go to a church to do a pep blessing, it's a love offering.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they want to do. And then I tithe back, my 40% to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep the rest, whatever that is. Sometimes it's $3, sometimes it's $40. It depends.
Yeah, and I work the same way on a love offering basis, and
Yeah.
I I had an interesting conversation with someone a while back who said, "Why are you charging anybody anything?" She said, "Don't you think God can take care of you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, God did take care of me. He took care of me by sending you, and you have money." That didn't
That's a
go over
great
real well with
answer.
them. I could have probably phrased that a little better, but when it comes down to we are worthy of our hire. We are a society that has given up the loving care of our dead to outsiders. people don't die at home anymore. Many times, most of the time, they tend to die in a nursing home or in a hospice or someplace. We don't go. We don't prepare the body for burial. We don't dig the graves. We've farmed that out to someone else, and so our nation has become kind of used to the idea of having to pay whenever there's been a death, and that's really kind of unfortunate. It would be nice to see us reclaim the love and the care of our deceased loved ones that we have just turned over to strangers.
Well, and the same thing with our pets. You know,
Yes.
sometimes you
I
go
was-
to the pet. Go ahead, Kathy, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, Joy.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I get all passionate about this because our society has been very negligent in this aspect of promoting, allowing, and having support in the area of pet death. And it's one of my passions. And I do, as Joy mentioned, I have taken into my home hospice cats because owners, for one reason or another, just wasn't able to do it. And I believe strongly that all animals, as I believe strongly, all people deserve support and love in their passing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Reverend Joy, I work with people at end of life. I'm a doula as well. Uh,
Mhm.
I can see ways that I could tweak what I do with people to help them with their pets. So
Mhm.
yeah, to become an animal chaplain such as yourself is not such a far fetched idea for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of animals and all of their wonderful characteristics, you know, animals are little essence of God as well.
Mhm.
And they are amazing in their intuition, in their love that is unconditional.
Yeah.
And as a result of all the things, because trust me, I've studied animal behavior, animal psychology, animal biology, you name it, I've been there. And the thing I've started recently is I take cats into senior apartments and have a cat and lap play day.
Oh, that is
And
cool.
the feedback I get from, you know, because these are all agencies, um, you know, they're usually attached to assisted living, but this is the next step up where you have your independent apartment. Um, I get all this great feedback from the staff, and the staff even comes sneaking in to see what I've brought. Last month, I brought 3 4-week-old kittens that were in the process of being socialized. And there was a woman there that hadn't cried in a long time, and she had a lot of grief. And I picked up one of the babies and put it on her chest, and she cried. And the baby licked her tears.
Oh.
Now, how healing is that?
Oh.
I have been home recuperating from surgeries. Now I have 5 cats, all right, and a yard full of birds and a skunk and a possum and 2 raccoons that come visit me at night for food.
Sounds like me here.
Yeah. The cats are healers. They know intuitively when I'm in pain. or when I'm sad, or something's going on with me and I'm kind of, ditzy. They'll come up, especially when I'm recovering from a physical thing. They'll come up and know exactly where on my body they need to lay. And they do. And it's that heart to heart joy that comes through me and my body. And it's just amazing. Well, that's why I got involved in knowing that I needed to go to senior apartments and take cats, because cats are healing. Dogs are healing. All animals have that ability,
Right.
if you're open to it.
Yeah, one of our guests a few weeks ago does equine therapy with her
Yes.
clients. So so it doesn't really seem to matter what the animal is. They have some sort of magical, innate, God-given ability to give us what we need if we would open up to it.
And all we have to do is return it.
Yeah.
It's in the giving and receiving that pet parenthood is at the highest level, the highest good. The God self in you is acting with the God's self in your pet. I believe that.
It's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I mentioned, I think, at a different show that when I was serving as a chaplain with hospice, I had a gentleman patient that thought he didn't want to see a chaplain because that has a certain, to some people, a certain feeling that you're going to be there and try to convert. And we don't, a new thought. However, during our conversation, I was asking him different questions because he was firm about what he believed, but yet he was a little defensive, like he had to kind of explain himself to me and justify why, So I just asked him some questions, and it led to this answer. He said that he felt the closest to his dog. And that's where he felt connected. And then he said with excitement in his voice, he said, "Do you know that dog is God spelled backwards?"
Yeah.
And so we connected. It was a good experience.
Reverend Kathy, thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry that we had so much technical difficulty. Evidently, Jupiter was not aligned with Mars. I don't know what the moon was in, what house, but we'd love to have
tonight is the winter solstice. That's all I could think of.
Well, we'd love to have you back when you get a little closer to having everything in place with your business and to talk a little bit more about you.
Yes. So
I would love that. I would love that very much. Thank you.
Great. We'll do that. Well, thank you so much for your patience and fortitude. You kept trying, and that's great.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
And I also want to express a special thank you to our producer, Robert, for being here with us today and for your conversation to share the space. So thank you very much.
What's coming up?
Next week, we have Reverend Nicholas Gunn, and that will be interesting. He's going to talk about his AI spiritual library. We also have Reverend Kurt Condra the following Friday, and he is minister at a Unity Church in the Chicago area, and that should be interesting as well.
Yeah. And the one I'm looking forward to is the following week with Reverend Eamon Duffy, who does wonderful men's work. So it'll be really great.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So Reverend Joy, let's close it on out.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and please do come back, like and share today's episode. And remember that this is Divine Science Everywhere, that divine science is in all, through all, and as all. And this is New Thought Media Network. Until next time, farewell.
Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk, Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Unity of Garden Park, New Thought Philadelphia, the Sunshine Cathedral, Unity of Savannah, and the Om Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network.